Scene script. Why does an internal audit plan matter for a procure-to-pay P2P audit in the fast-moving consumer goods FMCG industry, you might ask? Well, the answer is simple, yet crucial. A well-crafted plan helps organizations identify risks, strengthen controls, and enhance the efficiency and integrity of their procurement process. An audit plan for a P2P audit in the FMCG industry involves several key steps. First off is the preliminary assessment. This involves reviewing existing P2P policies, procedures, and controls. It also includes identifying key stakeholders and understanding the flow of procurement activities. On top of that, it's about assessing the regulatory requirements specific to the FMCG industry. Next up is risk assessment. This step helps identify and prioritize risks associated with the P2P process, including fraudulent activities, non-compliance with regulatory requirements, errors in purchase order processing, and vendor management risks. The effectiveness of existing controls in mitigating these risks is also evaluated. The third step is defining the audit objectives and scope. The audit objectives should align with organizational goals and regulatory requirements, and the scope of the audit should take into account the P2P process, the geographical locations, and the time frame for the audit. The fourth step is deciding on the audit methodology. This involves deciding on the audit approach, developing audit procedures and testing methodologies, which include review of documentation, interviews with key personnel, data analysis techniques, and observation of actual P2P transactions. The fifth step is about resource allocation. This involves assigning audit team members with relevant skills and expertise and allocating the necessary resources for the audit. The sixth step involves testing and evaluation. Detailed testing of controls and transactions is performed, focusing on the accuracy and completeness of procurement documentation, authorization and approval processes, adequacy of segregation of duties, and vendor due diligence and compliance. The effectiveness of controls in mitigating identified risks is also evaluated. The seventh step is reporting and communication. This involves documenting audit findings, providing recommendations, communicating findings to stakeholders, and obtaining management responses and action plans. The eighth step is follow-up and monitoring. This involves monitoring the implementation of management action plans, conducting follow-up reviews, and updating audit programs and procedures based on lessons learned. The final step is continuous improvement. This involves periodically reviewing and updating P2P policies, procedures, and controls, and incorporating best practices and lessons learned into future audit plans. In conclusion, a comprehensive internal audit plan for a P2P audit in the FMCG industry is essential for effectively identifying risks, strengthening controls, and enhancing the efficiency and integrity of the procurement process.